Yo, what's up, guys? We are back again with our breakdown. So, today I'm going to be breaking down the trade call on US 30. What are the things I saw? What is the reason for which I say we should be selling this particular asset? So, this was basically an M30 call. So the analysis was taken from M30 time frame. So I'm in a short while I'm going to tell you guys the reason for which I did that. So basically, if you followed my weekly analysis, you realize that price rejected off an H4 zone. So this is basically an H4 zone rejection. This area price had dipped into that H4 zone, which was basically a supply zone on the H4 time frame. So basically, I noted that area, and after price got into that zone yesterday, price uh, rejected of that zone. That is when we saw the sharp drop in price. So a rejection at the zone, then immediately we saw a sharp decline in price. So actually there was about 100% correction of the initial bullish move. Okay, so before price actually pushed back towards the zone once again. Now today, price has been kind of trading within the range. It neither saw volume pushing in the upward direction nor volume pushing in the downward direction. So basically, this was the range we had. Okay, this is on the M30 time frame. Like I said, this analysis was based off the M30 time frame. So starting off from the 4-hour time frame, I've also made us aware of why we had this bearish drop. Okay, so now we price was basically in an accumulation phase. So this is a range. All right, so now we were approaching volume time after I had identified my trend line. So I identified this trend line. So this is a bearish trend line giving us a signal that we are still trading bearish, so there's pressure to the downside. So of course I had this bullish trend line, which of course showed that price is trading below the trend line, so also signifies that there is pressure to the downside. So okay, now one other thing that also confirm this is this candle closing below the trend line. So that is what informed the decision. That was the last piece of the puzzle that informed us to join the sell. So basically, this is an evening star pattern. So after identifying the trend with the parameters I've made mention of, knowing that today there's likely going to be volume because tomorrow is CPI. So normally they're going to push price in the opposite direction, so that when CPI comes, they will push price in the intended direction. So I know this already. So with that information and with the trend that has been initiated, so my pattern is formed. That is where we call for the sell. Sell. Now we had a first target at this price level. Reason being that this is our immediate rejection area. So that is where price rejected off after the sell-off from yesterday's buy. Okay, so that became our first target. So as you can see, price dip, retested the broken structure, then dropped all the way to target 1 before we saw some reaction. So that was our first target. That was the reason for that target. Then price continued bearish all the way to our TP2. This was a very simple trade, just as I've explained. These are the things that were being considered for this particular setup. So in total, let's see, we're risking 190 pips, which of course we barely had about 30 pips drawdown. It didn't even get to 30 pips, and our target was 399 pips. So with this single setup, we were able to smash 399 pips. So as you can see, price continued downwards even after hitting our target. So now the last piece of the puzzle is, why did we use this as our take profit, as our last target? If you take a look at the left hand side, you will see that demand zone. That is basically an order block. So we expected that, okay, if price is gonna continue bearish, at least might likely respect this order block. We might see a rejection, sorry, at that area for price to continue bullish. So basically, with this in view, that is the reason for which I took this point as my TP2. And for the most part, those of us that already know our style of trading, you know that we do not take into consideration greed. So we always kind of reduce some of the pips, especially when we have a target, so that our take profit gets to hit before it even gets to our intended analytical point. So this is basically it, guys. I didn't want to keep this video long, but because I have to explain everything bit by bit for you guys, that is why it has taken us this far. Please, if you have stayed with me to this point, please like the video, comment, and if you are new to the channel, please kindly click on the subscribe button and turn on your notification button so that you can stay updated whenever I post new content. Thank you very much, guys. Until our next breakdown. Peace.